All right, today we're going to look at section 12.7, which is going to cover our final method that we're going to look at for solving quadratic equations, which is using the quadratic formula. Now, similar to completing the square, the quadratic formula can be used to find the solutions to any quadratic equation. The quadratic formula is x equals negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac, everything divided by 2a. So that is our quadratic formula, and something that you should commit to memory. So we can use this to solve any quadratic, provided the quadratic is in standard form. So quadratic must be in standard form. All right, and remember, standard form is when my quadratic is set equal to 0. So that's ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. That is my quadratic in standard form. So let's use this to solve the quadratic equation. 2x squared plus 10x plus 12 equals 0. So I like to write my a, my b, and c above my variables there, so I know where each one is going. So when I write the quadratic formula, x equals negative b, I see there b is 10, plus or minus the square root of b squared, so that's 10 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 2, times c, which is 12. All of that divided by 2 times a, which is also 2. Now I need to simplify this. So we get negative 10 plus or minus the square root, 10 squared, which is 100, minus 4 times 2 times 12. All right, well, I'm going to go 12 times 2 to give me 24, and then 24 times 4 to give me 96. And that all is divided by 2 times 2, which is 4. All right, so my next step, negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 100 minus 96, which is 4, divided by 4. Negative 10 plus or minus square root of 4 is 2, all divided by 4. Now I can split it up into my two equations here. Negative 10 plus 2 divided by 4, and negative 10 minus 2 divided by 4. Well, negative 10 plus 2 is negative 8. Negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2. And negative 10 minus 2 is negative 12. Negative 12 divided by 4 is negative 3. So we get the solutions. X equals negative 2 and negative 3. And those are my two answers there. Okay, we can also use this to solve quadratic equations when I am not in standard form. For example, x squared minus 8 equals 2x. Well, before I would identify my a, b, and c for the quadratic formula, I need to put this in standard form. So I need to subtract 2x. So we get x squared minus 2x minus 8 equals 0. Now I can see my a, my b, and my c. We can plug those into the quadratic formula. Negative b, well, b is negative 2, so the negative of a negative is a positive 2, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 8, all divided by 2 times a, which is 1. So we get 2 plus or minus the square root. Negative 2 squared is 4. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4 times negative 8 is a positive 32, all divided by 2. All right, 2 plus or minus the square root of 36 divided by 2. 2 plus or minus 6 divided by 2. 2 plus 6 divided by 2. And 2 minus 6 divided by 2. So we get 8 divided by 2, which is 4. 2 minus 6 is negative 4. Divided by 2 is negative 2. So our answers are 4 and negative 2. And that covers our final method for solving quadratics.